Hello, pocket knife community, knife lovers, knife enthusiasts, interested viewers. Folder here. I'm going to do an unboxing and initial impressions of a knife that when I first saw it, I was extremely blown away by it. I honestly believe it's in the mid-range price wise, you know, a few $100. So it's not super expensive, but it's not super cheap either. Made in Riyadh, by Riyadh in China. And I believe this knife, without having seen it in person, I believe this knife is going to be is going to match my top knife that I have, my favorite Demko 8020 full tie, my show special Demko. Even though that knife has a very unique story behind it, as to why it's also my favorite, because of the story, which I'm actually going to go into in another video. I don't think I've ever really gone into it, but outside of that, it's an incredible knife. The titanium is original goat. The knife is absolutely spectacular. The action, of course, is the shock lock, so it's incredible, and it's just an amazing knife. It's crew wear steel. It has the enhanced blade. You know, I think I've done 2 #1s, I think, so far on my channel, and it's been #1 every time. And I anticipated it to be #1 again this year because it's just an incredible knife to me. But when I saw this knife, and I'm really good at this now. Like, I'm really good at looking at a knife, looking at its attributes, qualities, and saying, I'm going to like that knife. You know, I mean, so I don't want to sound like, you know, the small knives, you know, can't ever have a place. But they kind of just don't add up. You know, when you have, excuse the pun, you know, that sweet spot around 8 to 8.5 inches, if it's bigger than that or smaller than that, it's not that I don't like those knives. I love those knives, okay? But they'll never be my favorite, like my absolute top of the heap favorite, because size does matter when it comes to pocket knives. And, you know, and other things. But at any rate, so I'm going to do an unboxing of this. I decided to record the unboxing, and like I said, I really don't usually record unboxings unless I open the package and there's some type of unique box that I want to highlight. Now I stopped doing them. I'm not saying I never did them, but you know, I stopped doing them unless that's the case. But with this knife, it's special. And so far, just looking at it before I've ever even held it, I already know there's one thing about it that I don't like, and it's very minor. Like, it's so minor, it's just a nitpick stupidness that, you know, most people wouldn't care. I just, you know, have a little peeve about one tiny little thing, but I'm giving it such a low percentage, like a point. That would mean that 99% of the knife I do like. And not only just like, but I believe this knife could dethrone my champion. I really do. So anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna do this unboxing. And this is a true unboxing. This is not, I opened it already, you know, and, you know, now I'm gonna, you know, just open it again because I saw something that I felt that I wanted to share on my channel. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I hope I didn't, hope I'm not leading myself up big to a disappointment, but whatever. Anyway. Okay. All right. So in the box here, this came, I got mine from Traditional Pocket Knives. That's nice. And if you haven't noticed by now, it's a BERGBLADES design. So yeah, they give you, I'm gonna see how I like this decal. or don't like it. Okay. Oh, I thought this was one. There's more than one. These are cool. I'm gonna use one of them. I might use this one. Yeah, these are cool. I like it. I saved these things for my page. Yeah, this is my second purchase from Traditional Pocket Knives. They're really good. I really like these guys a lot. I mean, stuff comes really fast. So, anyway. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this is the BERGBLADES Tick, and I got the one in titanium bead blast with the satin blade. It comes in S90V. If you don't know, the knife came in so many configurations on its release, and I mean, it literally came in. Let me go back and look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It came in 10 configurations on the release date. And I know there are other configurations that it does come in, because one was like a Damascus blade and stuff like that. And they didn't even have that with some zirconium or something, or zircuti or something. So, yeah. But the configurations it came in were, it came in the bead blast with the carbon fiber. It came in linen micarta, natural white. I mean, so many green micarta, and then so many finishes on the blades where you can get stone wash, and it was so many configurations. When I first saw it, I was really torn between the carbon fiber bead blast with the satin, and and then I thought about the DLC also. It had a DLC blade with a DLC handle. That was also something I thought about, but I just couldn't resist these plain satin blade with the titanium bead blast. Yeah, I couldn't resist. So anyway, that's the one that I got, and I'm really excited. And I hope it lives up to what I think it is. BERGBLADES. Okay, so BERGBLADES Tick. Oh man. So far, without even pulling it out of the box, I knew the dimensions of it, but I kind of couldn't tell how tall it was. I don't know how these images, how it looks on my channel here, but yeah. So just to reiterate that, it's an 8-inch knife, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this looks bigger than an 8-inch knife just in the case. Closed length is 4.5 inches. So yeah, so far that's good. Looking big and stout is a good thing. Okay, really nice box, by the way, too. I love the way they did the foam. Foam's good. Perfectly scented blade. Wouldn't expect anything less. I'm gonna just say it right off the bat. The only thing about this knife that I didn't like before I bought it was that it didn't have a captured pivot. It on the main pivot, it has 2 adjustments. on the main pivot. I really wish this thing had a captured pivot on one side. That was the only thing about it going into buying it that I knew, I would disagree with. Right off the bat, it is exceptional quality. So I'm anticipating this knife, regardless of price, being one of my best knives. Like knives that I pay double or even triple amount for. And of course, the fact that my main knife, I paid too much for. I mean, I know I paid too much for it. I didn't mind paying too much for it because it was purchased during a global pandemic, the most prolific pandemic in the history of the world. So we happen to be alive for it. So that's why it costs what it costs. But like I said, aside from cost, the backspacer is absolutely spectacular. I love the way it looks, the way they did the backspacer. Really, really, really is nice. Pocket clip. Yeah, everything is what I expected. I am getting fingerprints on it. I wasn't sure if it would show up on my Koenig Arius because of being milled and because of a few other knives I have. Fingerprints do not show on those knives at all. This was bead blasted titanium, so there's all different levels of bead blasts. Some bead blasts is more rough than others. This is a smoother bead blast, so it is showing some fingerprints. Not crazy though, not insane, so that's good. I also noticed that the blade, I knew that it had a top swedge, but you can't really see the detail of that top swedge in the pictures that I've seen of it and other people handling them. It doesn't come out, it didn't come out as well as it looks like it's coming out on mine. And I'm holding mine in order to highlight this area here. I'm talking really, really detailed stuff because, the details in this knife are really what drew me to it. The detail about the aesthetics, about the look of the blade. All right, so for the first deployment, you know what? I'm not gonna reverse flick it. It might be a little sticky. So let's just use the flipper tab and see how it comes out. Yeah. So that fired out really, really, really nice. And I would definitely say that what I expected is the case. Not disappointed at all. I don't know. Oh man, I don't have my calipers. You know what? When I do my review of it, I'm going to measure this with my calipers because this feels really thin. For a knife this size, that's a serious hollow grind. Yeah. So, yeah, another thing with this knife was the fuller. I don't have many knives with fullers or the blood groove. Yeah, I know it's not a blood groove. I know. So anyway. Yeah, action is nice, extremely nice. I mean, especially for a brand new knife. It's what I expected. Reverse flick is very satisfying. Yeah, and that fuller sticks up perfectly for me to get in there. As I say it, I missed the reverse flick. Yeah, out the box, it's very smooth out the box. What I expected. Yeah. So this is definitely something that first impressions, extremely nice. I love the way they did this grind up here and the jimping is okay. It could be a little more aggressive, and I wouldn't mind. But yeah, it's got a front finger choil also, and it's a little small, but that's okay in the interest of aesthetics over functionality. I do notice that that initial fingerprinting is going away. I guess there was a little bit of oils on the material, because it doesn't seem to be really holding prints at all. So that's actually a very good thing. I like this little detail back here. Where the thumb placement would be. Ergos are very nice ergos. Neutral, that's what I thought. The clip feels good. Yeah. Wow, lockup is extremely good. No rock, up and down, all left and right. I don't know. Lockup looks to be about 40, 30, 35% maybe. Yeah, so yeah, I would definitely say right now that you're looking at something that definitely is going to be, yeah, like my Koenig Arius at least, that's for sure. Another thing about this knife that was special before I bought it was the modernization of the fastening screws. If you notice on the show side, you have the main pivot and 2 screws here. On the clip side, which is not a two-sided clip, by the way, right hand tip up only. If you notice, there are no, except for the pivot, there are no screws on this side. Well, you know, the lock bar insert. Otherwise, it has a totally screwless system, which is extremely nice. It has a very, very clean look about it. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that it's lighter than I thought it was. It's coming in at 5 ounces. But to the feel, it's lighter than I thought it was going to be. And that's with it being 5-ounce knife, that's a good thing that it's lighter. After carrying around the Arma the last couple of days, maybe that's why it just feels light. Been carrying around the Arma a little bit, which is a very, very heavy knife. Too heavy, actually. Beautiful blade on this thing. Love it. All right, so yeah, so that's it. That's my unboxing and initial impression, and my initial impression is very good. Just very competent, very balanced feel in hand. The ergos are very good, whether you're choked up or behind, or using the main index of the handle. And it looks like one of those knives that just does everything well. That's what it's going to be. Looks like it. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be, regardless of price, I would say that this knife is, for me, you know, it's going to be special. So, anyway. All right. That's all I got. That's the BERGBLADES Tick in bead blast titanium handle with satin finish on the blade. All right.